Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hurt, Heal, Become podcast. I am your host, Monique Hollins. Listen, I was sitting here and just really thinking about how when it comes to certain things, certain experiences, certain moments in time, we feel like there's destruction or we are being damaged to a place where we're being torn down. You understand? I look back over my life and I'm like, man, it's been a whole bunch of destruction. You know what I mean? Destruction, distraction. It's just been a mess. And God has proved through my life, honestly, that you could be a mess and a masterpiece all at the same time. That even in your mess, even in your destruction, God has to tear some things down for his construction. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm just saying? I don't want that to go over your head. Listen, even in your mess, so let me say it again. Even in your mess, come on. God has to tear things down in destruction so that he can build you back up with his construction. What is destruction? What is the definition? It's the action or process of causing so much damage to something that it no longer exists or cannot be repaired. But we know, come on, we're talking about, we got God in this thing. We're not talking about you doing this in your own strength. We're not talking about, come on. Construction. What does that mean? Construction means the building of something, something built or put together. So when there's destruction in your life, I'm going to step out on a limb and say, "Ooh, you better get excited, sis." Oh my goodness, come on. When there's destruction in your life, when everything is being destructed, when there's destruction all around you, when everything is coming undone, my God, sometimes it has to be that way so that God can build you back up. His construction, come on, his construction, his art, and his manner, in his way, in his will, he can build you back up to be something greater, a large structure. He can build you back up and put you back together in a way that he needs you to be. Come on. When I think back over my life, I am grateful for the destruction. I'm grateful for the destruction. I'm grateful for the destruction that I caused. I'm grateful for the destruction that people caused to me. I'm grateful. I can look back and say, wow, I'm grateful that that person hurt me. I'm grateful that I had to experience that. I'm grateful that they dropped me. I'm grateful that I was abandoned. I'm grateful that that person left me, neglected me. I'm grateful that this person didn't believe in me. I'm grateful that that person had to walk away. I'm grateful. Do you understand? Because in that destruction, in that tearing down of what I built up in my own strength, in that tearing down, I have allowed God to construct me up, to build me up into who he needed me to be, to build me up with a tougher skin, to build me up in his word. See, when that person left me and I was all alone and I felt like I couldn't go on, I had nobody but God. So in that destruction, God met me. So this is why you can be a mess and a masterpiece all at the very same time. In your mess, you are still a masterpiece. Do you understand? I know I just went off on a tangent. And as much as I didn't pick up the mic to preach, it's in me. Do you understand? Because that was a part of the construction. My God of Zion. That was a part of the construction. See, I was dead in my transgressions. I was dead in my iniquities. I was dead in my own strength. I was dead in trying to do it the way I thought it should be done. And God said, let me construct you. So now every time you open up your mouth, I'm constructing. Oh my God. Another definition of construction means the way that you form a sentence, the way that you put a sentence together. See, God is putting these words together because in my destruction, he was constructing me. He was putting my sentence together. He was Jeremiah 29:11 my life. He says, for I know the plans of you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, to give you hope, faith, and a future. Listen, allow God to destruct. Come on. Praise God in the destruction. Be grateful for the destruction. I know that it's hard. Come on. I started this podcast in depression, but it was a part of the destruction. It was a part of what God needed to tear down in my heart. It was a part of all of that. It was a part of his plan. And if God brought me to it, he was going to get me through it. There was a mess and a masterpiece taking place at the same time. And oh my Jesus. And had I handled it the way that people were trying to tell me to handle it. Oh, sis, you need to do it like this. Oh, sis, don't say that. Oh, sis, don't speak negative over yourself. Oh, sis, just get up. See, God told me, I'm not going to let you pray your way out, but I'm going to let you pray your way through. I need for you to understand on today, there's a mess and a masterpiece inside of you all at the very same time, but you got to get through the mess. You can't run away from it. You can't hide it. You can't cover it up. God said, you ain't praying your way out, but I'm going to let you pray your way through. See, if God wanted the mess to end, he would have stopped it, but he said, no, you got to walk through this mess. You got to walk through this mess. Walk through this mess. Because at the same time in your life, you are a mess and a masterpiece all at the same time. Let me give you another illustration. When I was 16 and pregnant and people were saying, oh, you just messed your life up. Oh, you'll never be nothing more than a statistic. Oh, you'll never be nothing more than a government recipient. Oh, it's over for you. Oh, I can't have my kids around you. Oh, I can't have you walking through the regular hallways of the high school. You got to go to alternative school. See, I was a masterpiece at the same time. Do you understand? The same plan. I am the same girl who was 16 and pregnant, counted out, rejected, and a ball drop, and people were deeming me as a mess. They didn't see the masterpiece, but at the very same time, I am still her, and I wasn't preaching then. God says, let me destruct so I can construct. Come on. And be grateful for God and the destruction. Listen, I love you. I love you. Remember, here we will hurt, we will heal, and we will become all that God has created for us to be.